In this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how Fredo is currently making around $100,000 per month with these 3 simple steps. And I'm going to be going over every single step of the process in this video so that you can pretty much just, get the insights on what he's doing. Even if you wanted, I feel like there's a lot of really important things that he's doing inside of this funnel, which a lot of you guys can get a lot of value out of and actually implement into your funnels. Or, maybe if you're not running a funnel right now, kind of just learn for yourself. So in this video, we're going to be going over exactly how he's actually getting traffic, then how he's actually generating interested leads. So getting the people who are seeing him on the social media to actually get interested into whatever he's selling, and then how he's eventually converting all of this traffic and actually getting the people who are initially seeing him, getting interested into what he's selling, actually, get their credit cards out and pay him. Right. So let's get started with the first step of the process and arguably the most important step of the process of actually getting traffic. Because if nobody knows what you're selling, how are they supposed to buy something that they don't even know exists, right? It all comes down to that. And he's actually doing something really similar to, if you guys saw my breast skills video, um, really similar to him, right? For example, on his Instagram page, he's trying to keep it really simple. He's kind of just talking about, how he's making around $100,000 per month at 20 years old. And the really interesting thing here on Instagram is that he's not clipping, right? He doesn't have the clipping page and he's not clipping, right? So no clipping at all. But he is doing that on TikTok, right? He has a few of these TikTok pages. This one right here, I'm pretty sure this is his official one. It's sitting at around 45,000 followers, and it's just showcasing sort of like the lifestyle in cars. When you look at his YouTube content, which we're going to go into in just a second, it's pretty much all just kind of top of funnel lifestyle content. So it's perfect to actually work with and to actually clip with. And then after that, obviously, he's distributing all of this content, and the goal is to kind of go viral, right? We're not trying to build a small niche personal brand. He's actually trying to go viral with this, right? So he's just making a bunch of videos. Here, these are more the talking head videos, but he also has a lot of clipping videos. And for example, here, he's talking about how he's able to afford this kind of lifestyle, or, he's kind of just showing his flashy lifestyle, kind of building that trust within people, right? And now, obviously, probably like the biggest source of traffic that Fredo has, his YouTube channel right here, right? And he's mainly pushing top of funnel content, which is kind of like lifestyle content, right? Let's just look at some of the titles here. Raw day in the life of an organic dropshipper, or POV, you're getting rich at 20 years old and travel with your friends. These are kind of just like lifestyle videos that are a little bit more top of funnel, and they're performing really well. Like 6.7K views, 12K views, 16K views, which may seem okay at first glance. But when you really look into it, like 30-minute video, 23-minute video, again, 23-minute video, 44-minute video, 35-minute video, like these types of videos, especially because they're so long, they do a really good job at getting people to first, number one, get to know them, right? Number two, after that, get to like them. And then the most important steps that they actually end up getting converted is get to actually trust Fredo. And, he's able to get these free things in extremely well when his videos are this long, right? So let's just take a few examples of what the videos he's posting. One of the videos right here is a testimonial video, and it's 44 minutes long, right? And it's kind of just going into these two guys' stories and how Fredo was able to, kind of help them start making 6 figures per month, right? Just an example of one of his really good testimonials. But he also has some real talk videos, which are also pretty good, kind of just getting people to get to know, like, and trust him again. This is mainly for the trust. And then we also have middle of funnel education content so that they actually know, like, yeah, this guy's actually selling something. He's not just posting this content for fun. Where can I kind of learn from him, right? And the reason why he's actually pushing, like, let's say for example, clipping, right? They go into the link tree, and the first link pretty much in the link tree is his YouTube content, because his goal is, like, from a 30-second video, no one's going to be converting from a 30-second video. They don't know, like, and trust you yet, right? But they are eventually going to know, like, and trust you once they watch enough of these 30-minute videos. That's why he's taking the people from the short form content, and then he's pushing them over to the long form content, where he can eventually, further nurture them, and then they can actually get pushed inside of his funnel, right? So after this, obviously, this is doing a really good job at getting him traffic, right? He's built a really good audience, 28K on YouTube. We have 45K on his official TikTok and 14K on his official Instagram, right? After that, we need to realize how he's actually generating these interested leads. And one thing that he's really, really good at is actually understanding his audience. And he's done this because he's probably filled out a sheet really similar to this before he started creating content. And the sheet is pretty much going over his exact ideal customer, right? What is the promise in dreamland these guys are expecting? The problem. What are the journey of these potential clients? What are the problem lists? What are their desired? What's their desired situation? What is the gap and how do they bridge that gap? What is the unique selling proposition and unique selling proposition details? Why should they believe him and not someone else? What are the features and benefits which he can offer inside of a coaching program? What are the product deliverables that he can offer? What's the high ticket over sales argument? What are the customer verticals? What are the potential questions they might ask? What are the objections they might ask, right? Like there's a lot of stuff that actually goes into this, but it's extremely important that he's going through all of these questions. Like even for the coaches and creators that I'm working with, which by the way, if you want to work with me, there's going to be an explainer video, first link in the description. I'm going to be talking about exactly how I help sort of like make money online coaches add 25 to 75K a month to their coaching business. So if you're interested in that, you can watch the first link in the description. I'm going to have a bit of an explainer video, but like this really works. And I know this firsthand because I do it for my clients, but I also know this because everyone else does this too, right? Or at least the guys making over 6 figures per month. They know exactly who they're talking to inside of their content. So they know what to say in their VSL. They know what to write on their landing pages, and they know what to say inside of their content, how to structure their offer, really for everything, right? You need to have this done before you start building any type of offer. And then obviously we have different funnels from different platforms. So first off, starting from Instagram, obviously he is pushing a link tree right here, right? And number one, he has my free organic training and then my one-on-one coaching, right? Which is fairly simple. Over here for his one-on-one coaching, he has this landing page right here, which is access the exact A to Z blueprint I've used to make multiple 6 figures in profit with organic dropshipping, right? And then he has this VSO right here, which isn't too long. It's only around 8 minutes long. And then he has this button right here for apply for one-on-one coaching. This is an opt-in, but what I would say is make this button bigger. That's first of all. And also with these landing pages, you want to make these buttons a little bit bigger, right? Like it doesn't need to look aesthetic and everything. People just need to understand what he's selling, kind of get more information about the product. So what I would say is make this button bigger for sure. And then underneath the button, they're getting pushed towards all of these testimonials, right? Number here, how Andrew and Sean made 80K in 30 days. Another one, he's just spamming these testimonials to build that undeniable proof. And this is what everyone should do. Like we've seen this in Charlie Morgan's funnels. We see this in everyone's funnel, right? And then after here, he's showing just, some proof that wasn't caught in a video, but just, for a Discord channel, for example. And then there's a few more. Obviously, I don't want to take too many screenshots, but at that bottom, there's this button over here again. Like this button should be a lot bigger, but yeah, it kind of just shows the point. So apply here for one-on-one. And then after that, after they click on the button, they get sent to this form. And the problem about this type form is that there's no copy at the top usually. And I'm pretty sure he had copy here, where he was like, this application is only for organic dropshippers who have funds to invest into their education. This isn't perfect copy, but this is kind of a lot better than not having anything, right? So that should definitely get added. And after they fill out the type form, they're getting sent to this page where number one at the top here, it's saying, thanks for filling that out. A team member will reach out to see if you qualify. And that's essentially just looking if you have more than $1,000 to invest into the program. And otherwise, they're telling you to go onto his YouTube channel right over here. In the meantime, watch some of these YouTube videos to help you prepare, right? And what this is doing, like I've just explained earlier, is it's getting you to better know, like, and trust Fredo, right? So it's extremely simple going on from here. And if they just want to apply for the one-on-one coaching, it's a really similar funnel. So instead of going directly to the VSL page, they're having an opt-in, right? So he's pretty much just being like, how I went from a worker how I went from a fast food worker to making over 40K a month consistently with organic dropshipping. And then when you go to click on the video, an opt-in comes up, right? The same thing here as you can see here, unlock the free training. And after you opt in, you're getting sent to the same VSL. It's not actually a free training. You can see over here, this is pretty much the same as this, right? It's pretty much just a VSL. And then here, the exact organic blueprint you can use to make thousands from your phone using the organic TikTok and IG Reel algorithms, right? It's a really similar page right here. Here she's showing one more kind of like undeniable proof, and then they're showing a few more screenshots. Obviously, there's more than this, but I'm not going to make too many screenshots. You guys kind of get the point. He's spamming the results, and then he has the tiny apply here button, which again should be bigger. And then after they click on apply here, obviously it gets sent to the exact same funnel. Obviously gets sent to the exact same funnel as before. And obviously at the end of this, there's no watch my YouTube content, which they should definitely add. It's just thanks for filling out. The team member will reach out via SMS soon to see if you qualify, right? And again, that's only to see if they have more than $1,000. And the reason it's only $1,000, even though his program is $4,000, is because there's credit card options which people can always use, right? So from Instagram, TikTok, it is fairly simple, but it gets a little bit more complicated when they're coming in through YouTube, right? So when they're coming in through YouTube, there's just this description right here, which is make your next figures with organic guaranteed, right? And then they get pushed over to this VSL page, which we've already looked at, right? We have the big headline, we have the VSL, and then obviously we're going through all of the proof. I'm not going to run through all of this again. And then, they go through the funnel and then they opt in through the type form, right? Which is fairly simple. And then the second one over here is learn how to start organic dropshipping for free, where they're just getting pushed towards the free trading, which we already went through. Pretty simple stuff. And then at the end, they're pretty much just getting reached out to by the appointment setter, right? After that, the last thing that they're pushing is join the BSM Discord, warp.com/BSM, right? And this is a fairly simple community. What's really cool is they already have 15,000 members inside of here, and it really isn't too complicated. But what he's doing inside of this community is for the people who aren't ready to, these people probably opted in, but people who aren't ready for the mentorship yet, he can pretty much keep them inside of his ecosystem, right? And they can get further nurtured inside of his community, right? Now, the only thing that I think he's missing out on is from YouTube, he's not pushing anyone towards Instagram, which is a really, really big and major mistake, right? They're not getting pushed towards Instagram. And the biggest thing is like Instagram helps you take advantage of the two biggest major movers. And these have doubled some of my clients' coaching businesses, right? Which is insane. First off, on Instagram, you have access to the DMs feature. And second off, on Instagram, you have access to the story feature. And it goes like, I've literally doubled coaching businesses just by implementing this. So let's say, for example, in the DMs, directly you have an appointment setter who's DMing the people who view your stories, people who just follow you. They're going to get an auto DM. For example, for my Instagram page, it's so you followed, happy to connect. And then it's going to be message everyone who comments on your posts, right? And this is all going to be done by an appointment setter. And the appointment setter, once the people respond, they're going to go through this exact framework right here. So they're going to have the initial message, then they're going to be qualified. They're going to identify the gap inside of the DMs. The appointment setter is going to transition into the call, propose the call, and then they're going to get booked in. And obviously that's going to go towards their calendar, Calendly, iClose, whatever, right? After that, there's a story feature, which a lot of you guys know that I'm really, really big on, right? There's a few different types of stories that Fredo should be posting. So let's say a story gets posted. There's 4 different types pretty much. First off, we have the proof. For example, on my Instagram page, one of my coaching clients did $5,500 in a day, and I posted that, and that's building goodwill, right? I had some people like, this is a client that I closed. He was like, hey bro, after the coaching call, he decided to go with someone else, which is totally fine. But a month later, after seeing all of the proof that I was posting on my Instagram, he's like, yeah, pretty much what you said. And then he decided to come on as a client, which is pretty cool, right? So you always want to be posting proof, and for him, would just be posting these testimonials. After that, we have those engagement posts, which is, for example, my Instagram. I was saying tomorrow I'm going to be revealing how I was able to cash collect $27,000 with my YouTube alone this month so far. And then I pretty much showed the breakdown, and I posted that on my Instagram. After that, we obviously have the CTA stories. Here's an example of a CTA story, kind of just like a story sequence. You guys can go on my YouTube channel. You'll see a bunch of videos based off of story sequences. Here's one that I ran on my Instagram page, and I ended up getting a few clients through this as well. And then obviously he wants to keep posting that lifestyle content so that we can avoid people thinking every time he posts on his story, he's trying to sell me something. And this is essentially just making the other sequences actually work. And this is all getting pushed towards the closer's calendar. So it's a really, really simple process actually. And he's just missing out on all of these things. This could easily double his coaching business if literally at the very bottom, or even instead of join the BSM Discord, he was like, follow me on Instagram. And then he had the Instagram link, right? Really simple implementation, which he can make. And now, obviously, he has all of this traffic. This traffic is also now aware that he's actually selling something, and they're aware of what he's selling. Now, the next step is to obviously convert them, right? And after the type form has been filled out, everything's going to be done by the setters. So they call every lead up to qualify them and book in the sales call. And every lead is called up within a maximum of 2 hours to give Fredo a specific edge, right? And after booking the appointment, they make sure every lead watches the VSL and goes through a specific pre-call process. And what this pre-call process is going to do is not only is it going to nurture them before the call, but it's also going to create a much higher likelihood of them actually showing up. So for example here, first off, the setter and the closer, what do they need to do? Well, step number one is the lead books in and within within a 1 to 4 day time span, right? Then the setter is going to create a WhatsApp group chat with the lead, the client, and the closer. And the setter has WhatsApp business with the account of the creator, phone number, and it's going to allow them to have that one-on-one connection, right? After that, step number two, the client is going to send a message, which would be Fredo, but really it's just an appointment setter, and it's going to tell them to check a doc. Step number three, the closer is going to talk with the lead, pretty much introduce himself, and all of this is happening immediately. By the way, this is kind of the manual actions going on right here, right? So this is what needs to be done manually, and then after that, I'm going to show you the automations that he has in place as well. After that, step four, so 24 hours before, the setter is going to send a reminder inside of the WhatsApp and then also on his Instagram account 24 hours before, right? Step number five, just 1 hour before, doing the same thing, sending the reminder on WhatsApp and Instagram. And then step number six, 5 minutes before the call, sending the link for the meeting, whether that's on Google Meet or on Zoom, on WhatsApp and Instagram, right? So these are all of the manual actions, fairly simple. And then automatically, we're also going to have immediate actions, which are step number one, redirecting the page and confirming the call. Pretty much just telling them to go to their inbox. And then step number two, the mail confirmation is going to tell them to add that event into their calendar. Oh, my red pen isn't working right now. Here we go. Right, telling them to add that event into their calendar. Step number three, after that, email and SMS reminder. And then step number four, which is going to be 6 hours before, again, email and SMS reminder. This one was 24 hours before. And then we have the final one, email and SMS reminder 1 hour before, right? And then obviously sending them the link 5 minutes before. Now, an important thing is, and a mistake that I see a lot of people doing, is they send too many email and SMS reminders. And what this ends up doing is, people don't even want to show up. They feel like they're really getting sold to, too many reminders. This guy just wants my money, and they don't even end up buying, right? So the important thing is you kind of limit these. You have the essential ones of 24, 6, and 1 hour before, and then obviously 5 minutes before we're sending the link, okay? Now, the final one, which I want to kind of touch on, is they're tracking every single metric inside of the business. And I know this for doing this for my clients, but I also know this for a lot of guys who are running 6-figure offers that are also doing this. We're tracking every single metric inside of the business. For example, when did they book in? What is the name? Did they get closed or not? What was the call type? How much money was made in the call? How did they pay? How much was cash collected? All of these different features. Let me just give you an example. Let's say for the call source, we see that most of the people are coming from Instagram, right? 70% of the people are coming from Instagram, but only 30% of his time is going towards Instagram, and 70% of his time is going towards YouTube. Well, then he'd know that he would maybe need to spend a little bit more time on Instagram, because that's where most of the leads are coming from, right? Instead of that, he's spending most of his time from YouTube, but that's not even where the majority of the leads are coming from. But he'd only know that if he was tracking every single metric inside of the business, so that they can take full advantage of every single lead. Now, tracking the metrics, I can't stress this enough. We have probably 5 of these for every client that we have, right? We have tons of different sheets tracking every single metric, so that we know exactly what to do in what situation and how to actually boost the revenue and hit record month after month. Now, with all of this being said, if you're sort of like a make money online coach or creator who's selling some sort of high ticket mentorship program, or is going to start setting up some sort of mentorship program, which, maybe you don't even have a following at all yet, but you want the right systems, you want to build everything up, and you want to add 25 to 75K a month in profit to your coaching business, there's going to be a free explainer video, first link in the description.